Hello, dear students. Let's see the merits of Bohr's model. We will see how much success did Bohr's model, atomic model, received. So, the first fact is stability of the atom. According to Bohr's atomic model, so long an electron moves in a given orbit, it neither emits nor absorbs any energy. So atom is stable. Okay. Next is energy of the electron in various orbits of hydrogen atom. We can calculate energy of the electron in various orbits of hydrogen atom, helium ion, lithium ion, etc. You can see that all these species contain one electron. Okay, hydrogen 1 electron, He plus 1 electron, Li 2 plus, all these species and all other species which can contain 1 electron. For such systems, energy of the electron can be calculated by this formula which is given on your screen. En is equals to minus 2 pi square Me4 Z square N square S square. Here you can see that the what the particular alphabet refers to. Small m is the mass of electron, small e is the charge of electron, small n is number of orbit, capital Z is the atomic number, and when we will substitute the values have already been calculated, the mass, electron, and H is the Planck's constant. So these values are already fixed. So when we will substitute these values in this formula, then finally we will get this formula. En is equals to minus 1312 into Z square by N square, means only atomic number and number of orbit is required to calculate the energy of any electron. Next was to calculate, let's see here. For hydrogen atom, in this formula, try to solve. For hydrogen atom, Z is equal to 1 and N will be equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. For helium ion, what will be Z? Z will be 2. For lithium ion, what will be Z? Atomic number of lithium, hydrogen, helium, lithium, 3. So Z square means 3 square and N will be 1, 2, 3 and so on. Thus, energy of electron in various orbits of these species may be calculated in joule per atom or joule per molecule, etc. Okay, now come to the radius of various orbits of hydrogen atom, the orbits which are present. For one electron system only we are talking. So what will be the formula for calculating the radius of various orbits of hydrogen atom or helium ion or lithium ion? Again, you can see that all these are containing one electron only, and the radius of the orbit can be calculated by the formula which is given here. Rn is equals to n square plus s square upon 4 pi square me square z. Okay, now meh, mass of electron, charge of electron, Planck's constant. When these value will be kept in this formula, finally we will get radius. Rn is equals to n square into 52.9 by z pm. Okay, and Z can be, for hydrogen Z will be 1, N is 1, 2, 3. For helium ion again, Z is atomic number is 2 and number of shell 1, 2, 3. In any orbit electron can remain. Lithium ion atomic number 3, but n number of shell can be 1, 2 and 3, so on. So you can see that various orbits of these species may be calculated in meter, pm, etc. angstrom also. Thus, radius of the first orbit of hydrogen atom is 52.9 pm. and it is called Bohr's radius. Okay, radius of the first orbit of hydrogen atom is 52.9 pm. It is called Bohr's radius. Next was next usefulness or merit of Bohr's model was explanation of atomic spectrum of hydrogen atom. So before explaining the atomic spectrum of hydrogen atom, I would like to make you all aware with atomic spectra. This is also in your course. This topic was before Bohr's model. Here in the significance, I am going to explain about the atomic spectra. Carefully concentrate and listen what is atomic spectra, and this is the evidence for the quantized electronic energy levels. Actually, ordinary white light consists of waves with all the wavelengths in the visible range. And you have seen that a ray of white light splits into a series of colored band which is called spectrum. Okay, the light which we see of the sun, when it splits in with the help of prism, we can see that a ray of white light splits into a series of colored bands which is called spectrum. And the spectrum of white light changes from violet, the frequency of it will be 7.5 into 10 to the power 14 hertz, to red, that is 4 into 10 to the power 14 hertz. And such a spectrum is called continuous spectrum. Continuously the colors can be seen from violet to red without any demarcation. So that is termed as continuous spectrum. And it is because one color merges into other color. We can see if it is here, this type of spectra when we will get, this is a continuous. Concentrate on the spectra. It is because one color merges into other color. You can see here violet merges into blue, blue into green, and so on. A similar spectrum is seen in the rainbow in the sky. You may have seen rainbow, similar type of spectra you can see there. Thus, white light is made up of 7 colors, that is Vibgyor, you are aware of this. Actually, the electromagnetic spectrum has many regions. Electromagnetic spectrum has many regions. For example, gamma rays, UV, visible, IR, microwave, etc. Thus, visible light is a small portion of the electromagnetic radiation. Here, what I am trying to tell you, that the whole this spectrum is given as an electromagnetic spectrum, and our eyes is only liable to see this visible region. These all we cannot see by our own eyes. These we cannot see, only we are concentrated and we are able to see this visible region. Okay, thus visible light is a small portion of the electromagnetic radiation. You can see here, when electromagnetic radiation interacts with matter, atoms, and molecules, it may absorb energy and reach to a higher energy state. The atoms and molecules are unstable in higher energy state. I have discussed this. Whenever the atoms and molecules will absorb the energy, they will jump to higher level, and at that higher level they cannot stay for long duration or permanently. After 10 to the power minus 6 second, they will return back to their original place. And when molecules come back to their normal energy state, they emit radiations in various regions of the electromagnetic spectrum. You have seen that when they are absorbing the energy, they are moving to higher level. When they are coming back to lower level, they are emitting the energy. Okay, on the basis of this, we can study about emission and absorption spectra. Actually, electromagnetic spectrum consists of radiation of different frequencies and wavelength. You can see here wavelength, wavelength is increasing, frequency is decreasing. So wavelength and frequency, how they are related to each other? Wavelength is increasing and frequency is decreasing. So they are inversely proportional to each other. Okay, and the instrument which is used to separate the radiations of different wavelengths or frequencies is called spectrograph or spectroscope. And this, which is arranged here, this arrangement of electromagnetic spectrum in order of increasing wavelength or in order of decreasing frequency, this is called electromagnetic spectrum. Okay. Spectra are broadly classified into two types: emission spectra and absorption spectra. Emission spectra. Atoms, molecules or ions absorb energy and come in excited state. The current situation is called ground state. When they are in their stable state, that is their ground state. And as soon as they absorb energy, they come in excited state. The spectrum of radiation emitted by a substance in excited state, means higher energy state, is called emission spectrum. Okay, the spectrum of radiation emitted by a substance in excited state is called emission spectrum. And to produce an emission spectrum, energy is supplied to the sample. The energy may be supplied by heating or irradiating with the sample. When the sample gives up the absorbed energy, the wavelength or frequency of the radiation emitted is recorded. These all things we are doing on spectroscope, depending upon the source of radiation. The emission spectra are of two types. Number one, continuous spectra. The continuous spectrum of sun is given in your book. Now see, sunlight is just passing with a slit. A slit can be directly, we are not passing with a slit, a small slit. Sunlight is passing to a prism. Now see what is happening. When white light from any source, though we are taking the sunlight, any source of light is passed through a prism, it splits into 7 colors. These 7 colors are so continuous that one color merges into next. For example, violet merges into blue, blue into green, and so on. And this is called continuous spectra. This emission spectra is of two types. One is continuous spectra and the other is line spectra. When some volatile substance is heated in Bunsen flame or an electric discharge is passed through a gas at low pressure, light is emitted. The wavelength of light emitted or the color depends upon the nature of the substance. For example, Sodium and potassium on heating in Bunsen flame emits yellow and violet light. I have the picture of that. Let me find it. It's missing. This type of arrangement will be done. Bunsen burner, NaCl will be burnt on the flame, and beam of light will be passed to a prism. Prism light will be taken on the photographic plate, and we will find that two yellow lines are seen when we have taken sodium chloride. And with potassium chloride, we will get the violet light respectively. If the emitted light is resolved by a spectroscope, no continuous spectrum is obtained. On the other hand, isolated colored lines separated by dark bands are obtained, and this spectrum is called line emission spectrum or line spectrum, and each line of the spectrum corresponds to a particular wavelength. Sodium always gives two yellow lines corresponding to wavelength 5890 angstrom and 5896 angstrom. Like this only, each elements give its own characteristic spectrum. Line spectra of different elements are different. Thus, line spectra can be used for identification of different elements. The spectra of the elements are described as their fingerprints. As you can see that everyone can be find out with their fingerprint, so like that only this line spectra is also the fingerprint of every element. The fingerprints of human beings differ from each other. Like that, similarly, the atomic spectra of each element differ from each other. The line emission spectra of the unknown element is taken. In the way we can identify the unknown elements, the elements rubidium, cesium, indium, gallium, and many more were discovered when their minerals were analyzed by spectroscopic methods. Helium was discovered in sun by spectroscopic method only. Okay, so this information was all about your emission spectra. Emission spectra is of two types: continuous spectra and line spectra. Continuous spectra, when all the seven colors comes and they get merged with the simultaneous color, and line spectra, fine line is found, and your line spectra is the fingerprint of all the elements. Next is your absorption spectra. When a beam of continuous light is passed through a solution or vapors of a chemical substance, it is observed that the spectrum obtained contains a number of dark lines. Number of dark lines will be found. It is called absorption spectrum. Why dark lines are there? Because these dark lines appear due to the absorption of certain wavelengths. The electron has absorbed that light, that colored light, so that color is gone and black line can be seen there. That will be a dark line. Okay, the wavelengths absorbed depend upon the nature of the chemical through which continuous light has been passed. It has also been found that the dark lines appear at the same place where colored lines are obtained in the emission spectra for the same substance. Thus, the wavelength absorbed in absorption spectra and wavelength emitted in emission spectra are same. Okay, the study of emission or absorption spectra is called spectroscopy. If you have to differentiate between emission and absorption spectra, what will be the point? In emission spectra, we can say that it contains bright colored lines which are separated by dark spaces. Bright colored lines which are separated by dark spaces, you can see here. And in absorption spectra, it contains dark lines at the place where colored lines are obtained. Dark lines are obtained where colored lines, dark lines at the place where colored lines are obtained. Emission spectrum may be continuous or discontinuous. This can be continuous or discontinuous. But absorption spectra is always discontinuous, consisting of dark lines. In emission spectra, radiations from the source are analyzed directly by the spectroscope. And in absorption spectra, white light is first passed through the chemical and the transmitted light is analyzed by a spectroscope. So this is the main difference between emission and absorption spectra. Now we will see the spectrum of hydrogen. So try to understand the spectrum of hydrogen. When an electric charge is passed through gaseous dihydrogen, the hydrogen molecules dissociate into energetically excited hydrogen atoms. The excited hydrogen atoms emit radiations of discrete frequencies or wavelengths. Are you understanding? Means hydrogen molecules, when they are absorbing the energy, they are getting excited and they are getting converted into hydrogen atoms, and the excited hydrogen atoms emit radiations of discrete frequencies or wavelengths. The hydrogen spectrum consists of several lines named after their discoverer. In screen you can see that a series has been given. This is the electronic transitions producing different series in hydrogen spectrum. Lyman series, Balmer series, Paschen series, Brackett series, Pfund series. You can think that the name should have been given some easy A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z. But no, these Lyman series, it won't mean anything. This is the name of the scientist. This is coming on the name of the scientist. Balmer has done lots of work on it. You will see when it will come. He was a great scientist and he has given the formula also to calculate the Rydberg formula was also given to calculate the wave number. Wave number will be calculated. So Balmer has done a lot of work in this. So you have to learn it. Lyman, Balmer, Paschen, Brackett, Pfund. 3-4 days you can say this. Then you will learn it by heart. LBP, BP. The short form you can learn. LBP, BP. Lyman, Balmer, Paschen, Brackett, Pfund. Lyman, Balmer, Paschen, Brackett, Pfund. Okay, like this you have to learn it. When you will learn it in sequence, then it will be easy for you all to get the one formula you will learn, and for all you can make your own formula. Okay. So what happens? The hydrogen spectrum consists of several lines named after their discoverer. Balmer showed on the experimental basis that visible lines of the hydrogen spectrum obey this formula. No spaces here, I'll write it here. Nu bar. This wave number is denoted by this symbol. Nu bar is equal to 109677 109677 in bracket 1 by 2 square minus 1 by n square centimeter inverse. N is equals to 3, 4, 5 and so on. Okay, and this is Rydberg formula. Rydberg gave a very simple expression for the calculation of the wavelength of various lines in hydrogen spectrum. This is your wave number. Nu bar is equals to R. R is the Rydberg constant. 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. This is your Rydberg easy simple formula. Nu bar is equals to R in bracket 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. And you should know that nu bar is your wave number and nu bar is equal to 1 by lambda. What is lambda? Lambda is the wavelength. Okay, and R is Rydberg constant. Its value is 109677 centimeter inverse. Or in meter inverse we can write 1.097 into 10 to the power 7 meter inverse. N1 and N2 are whole numbers. For a given series, N1 is constant but N2 varies. Okay, suppose I am talking about Lyman series. So N1 will be constant and N2 will vary. If I am talking about Balmer series, N1 will be your 2 for Balmer series, N2 will vary. If I am talking about Paschen series, so N1 will become 3 and N2 will vary. Okay. And these series, Lyman, Balmer, Paschen, bracket, Pfund, they are found in different wavelength region. Lyman series, it is a series of lines in the ultraviolet region of electromagnetic radiation. The radiation which I have shown you, this. So Lyman is found in UV region. Balmer series is found in visible region. Paschen, bracket, Pfund, these all three are found in the infrared region of the electromagnetic radiation. Now listen very carefully. For Lyman series, N1 is 1 for Lyman and N2 can be 2, 3, 4 till infinity. Okay, for Lyman. And this is found in UV region. Next is your Balmer. For Balmer series, N1 will be 2, and N2 can be 3, 4, 5, 6, infinity. And this is found in visible region. When we will talk about Paschen series, N1 will be 3 and N2 will be 4, 5, 6, goes on till infinity. It is found in IR region. Bracket, N1 will be 4, N2 will be 5, 6, 7, 8, infinity. Found in IR region. Fund series, N1 will be 5, N2 will be 6, 7, 8, 9 till infinity, and it is found in IR region. Okay, in hydrogen one more is there, but it is not Humphrey series, which is also found in IR region. For that, N1 will be 6 and N2 will be 7, 8, 9, and it will goes on to till infinity. Okay, now different lines have been named on the names of their discoverer. This I have told you, that Lyman series. Why it is Lyman series? Lyman scientist has discovered. Balmer series, Balmer has discovered. Paschen series, Paschen has discovered. And the formula is applicable to one electron system. Okay, do remember that we are talking only about one electron system. It will be clear to you when we will move on to drawbacks of Bohr's atomic model. Then you will understand that why I am all the time saying that one electron system. The ions, hydrogen ion, helium ion, lithium ion, etc., contain one electron. So the general formula will be nu bar is equals to 1 by lambda is equal to Rz square 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. Okay, this will be the formula, general formula. Suppose I am talking about Lyman series. So N1 will be 1. If I am talking about Paschen series, N1 will be 3. If I am talking about Fund series, N1 will be 5. Okay. When you will draw this, you will find that when we are moving from Lyman to Balmer Paschen bracket Fund, one ray you have to delete. In Lyman series, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here should be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here 4, then 3, then 2. 1, N1, N2, N3, N4, N5. On that ray only the ray is returning. Okay, and the formula which I have written, Z is the atomic number of this species, and this formula is applicable to those systems which have one electron only, such as hydrogen atom, helium ion, lithium ion, etc. Value of Z for hydrogen atom, helium ion and lithium ion will be 1, 2 or 3 respectively. Now see, for the spectrum line of highest energy means lowest wavelength. Highest energy, lowest wavelength. In Lyman series N1 will be 1 and N2 will be infinite. Okay, when we will put this value, wavelength corresponding to these values is called limiting line. This is the limiting line, n1 1, n2 infinite. No change can be, more thing can be added to n2. So this is limiting line for a given series. One more point, for the spectrum line of lowest energy. This I have talked about the highest energy, and if I am talking about the lowest energy means longest wavelength. Then for Lyman only, n1 will be 1 and n2 will be 2. Similarly, for the limiting line in Balmer series, you can tell me, for Balmer series, what will be the limiting line? n1 is equals to 2 for Balmer, and n2 will be, I hope you are saying infinite. Okay, for the spectrum line of lowest energy, longest wavelength in Balmer series, n1 is equals to 2 and n2 is equals to 3. Okay. Now, on the basis of these formula, few numericals are given in the exercise. Take it as an assignment and solve numericals questions on Rydberg formula. If you will find, just learn the formula, put the value according to LBP, BP, Lyman-Balmer-Paschen bracket fund. Learn it thoroughly by heart. Lyman-Balmer-Paschen bracket fund. N1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will be clear for you. If I'll ask for bracket, what is the N1? You will count Lyman-Balmer-Paschen bracket 4. Okay, learn the formula and try to do the numericals based on Rydberg formula. I think I should stop here. In my next lecture, I'll talk more about the explanation of atomic spectrum of hydrogen atom. Then I will proceed towards limitations of Bohr's atomic model. Okay, thank you, children.